All right, 60 Minutes, everybody. All right, hey, Bill. I saw your tweet about 60 Minutes about the talking robot piece. Yeah, Charlie Rose was sitting there talking to this artificial intelligent robot that really moved bad. Speaking of fucking Westworld, right? And he asked the robot what its goals were. First of all, that a robot would have goals like a person, okay? And the robot said, my goal is to one day be smarter than human beings. So I tweeted, I basically tweeted, please unplug that fucking thing. All right? So he goes, I come somewhere between unplug it and fuck it. It seems like everyone knows the machines will be our doom, but I feel like everyone involved and even everyone else just looking on has a, but will they take over type of curiosity. My question, I don't know what you meant by all that. My question to you is that if in 10 years the robots are filling in as clerks at stores or working the lobby of hotels, would you be comfortable as a customer in those locations? Also, I highly recommend the new Westworld remake on HBO. Yes. I thought that was Netflix. My fault. HBO. It's totally up your alley, and I'm sure you remember the original with good old Yul Brynner. How funny is that? Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I already talked about it. I loved it. This is what I actually think that that those robots will make human beings obsolete. I know that sounds fucking crazy, but they will, okay? And they don't have to sleep. They don't have to fucking do anything. They'll outwork us and all that type of shit. And they're going to act like then we finally get to sit around and chill out, right? Like that was the big promise of all of this technology that was going to be coming out in the future. I mean, there's always technology, but the newer technology, the technology of the future. The 3-day work week. They used to make fun of that on the Jetsons. Oh, these 3-day work weeks are brutal. People are working more than they have ever worked in their fucking lives in this race to, I don't even know what the fuck. Why the fuck? Can somebody please tell me what the fuck we need robots for? What do we need any of this shit for? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like somewhere in like the mid-90s, like that was good. We advanced enough with cars, travel. We advanced enough with medicine and that type of shit. I mean, basically from 1995 on, if you're fucking dying, then I mean, I don't know, the amount of shit that you could sidestep, tuberculosis, polio, all of these fucking things, all those plagues from back in the day, they were all gone. I mean, something, I don't know, it's hard when it's somebody you know and love, or obviously if it's fucking you, but like, I don't know. I think the population, I've always talked about it. It's a major fucking problem, and I don't know how they go, like, I just feel like those things will come along and they'll just be like, well, you have those things that don't need to, they don't need a flat screen TV. They don't need any of that type of shit. They can do the work of 10 people. Or let's say they can do the work of 4 people. Then there's 3 extra people out there, isn't there? Or there's 4 extra people out there. Let's fucking cut this thing down by 25%. I mean, there's already too many fucking people walking around. You can have a bunch of robots walking around too. At some point, something's got to give. All right? And I can guarantee you one thing. Robots are never forming a union. All right? They're not gonna. So I think they'll be smart enough to not get them to do that. But the greed of going after the dollar and making one that's just a little bit better, like these fucking iPhones, I think we could get ourselves into a tough situation. And here's the question I have. If you kill a robot in the future, like, is that going to be considered property damage? At what point will that actually be considered murder 1 or murder 2 or robot slaughter? They'll have to have all these new laws. You know what I mean? Like, what if they make them like what they're trying to do? Like, they're probably going to make them fuckable at some point, like that fucking movie I saw like a year ago, you know? What if you go out and you fuck somebody else's robot, you know? Like, hey, that's my robot. You just came in my fucking robot. What the fuck? Even though it's self-cleaning and all that shit, I can't fucking do that, right? You're just really opening up a fucking can of worms there. All right, clown sightings. Oh, shit, Nia's calling me. My episode of The Simpsons is on tonight. Is it on?
What are you doing?
I'm doing the podcast.
I know. You're supposed to be done. It's on in like a minute.
Well, I can hit pause.
Well, hurry up.
Hey, come here.
What? I don't want to miss it.
Put your eyebrows down. You're like, what are you doing?
I don't want to miss it.
Hey, how nice is my car?
It's very nice. It's awesome.
Ugh. I thought you were going to go harder than that. I think we say it was like gorgeous. All right, how good was the potato pancake?
That was delicious. It was better than the restaurant.
Is it me or do you guys just have like distinct lack of fucking passion? This is totally you. Like, this is what I want you to do. This is what I want you to do now. For the love of God, go fucking do it. And I'm sitting there like a little 6-year-old. Mommy, look what I can do. All right, just hit pause. I'll be up there in a second.
I can't hit pause. There's no DVR.
Oh, all right. I know, this guy's fucking depression era fucking cable. All right, I'm just going to hit pause here, and then we'll come back and finish this. All right, and after all that, it wasn't even on. She fucking went off on how great the potato pancake was. She thought the car was gorgeous. You see what they do? You see what they do? All of a sudden, I'm fucking bragging a little bit. All goes out there, always trying to fucking knock you down a little bit. All right, here we go. Clown sightings. You're listening to one right now. All right, clown sightings. Dear Freckles, have you heard about this clown hysteria? Have you heard about this clown hysteria? Freaks are dressing up as creepy clowns and going out in public trying to scare people. Yeah, I've seen those. Just search creepy clown sightings as a bunch of shit pops up. Other people are now starting to go clown hunting and beating the shit out of clowns that they see in public. Now, how the fuck do you go about doing that? Isn't it? There's like 9 people in the country that have done that. Let's go out clown hunting. Like where do clowns hang out? Do they have a natural habitat? Is there a bush you can go to? The clown bush, shake it a little bit, throw some rocks into it. Anyways, my question is if one of these clowns charged at you, what would you do? Do you think it would be legal to run over / beat the shit out of the fuckers, or should you let the misfit go without harming him? Thanks and go fuck yourself. I think at this point I've seen enough of those videos that if one of them came running at me with like dragging the body and it's just so fucking over the top, I don't know. But you'd have to, just out of respect for yourself, your own safety, you'd have to fucking back up or run away. Yeah, I mean, if a guy came running at me, because with my luck, this would be the guy who isn't fucking around. I'd be like, yo, what's up, YouTube, world star, whatever. Take a fucking axe to the head. But, I don't think that you should go. Clown hunting to me is hilarious. Like, how the fuck would you even remotely begin to know where to look? You know what I mean? Like, there was that thing for a while where people were putting train horns in their vehicles, and those people should be prosecuted because, my ears are fucked up from years of going to concerts and playing drums and shit, and, like, somebody did that one time when I went by. It's funny watching people jump and shit, but, like, it was close enough that it did even more damage to my left ear, which is fucked up, and it's like, that's something now that I have to live with because this person wanted to have a laugh. I mean, the ringing went away, but they definitely, when you do shit like that, I mean, you are kind of asking for it. You shouldn't do it. Like the other people, you shouldn't go beat the shit out of the person. They're just fucking around trying to make a funny video. I mean, you really have to go beat the fuck out of them. But when you do scare somebody to that level, maybe that is a thing that you can kind of expect. I don't know what the rules of clowning is. All right, now she's texting me saying that it's starting. All right, hang on. Stopping again. Every time I get momentum, we get a fucking holding call and it just kills the drive. All right, I'm back again. Guess what? It wasn't even the episode. It was the wrong episode. There was a pre-episode to the episode that they're going to show that I'm on. All right. Anyways. All right. Waterproof electronics. Waterproof electronics. All right. Dear Billy Wet Phone. Just to let you know, the waterproof or water resistance rating on electronics is bullshit. The same goes for watches and any other water-resistant item. Here's how they determine the water resistant. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, you pour water onto anything, it's going to gradually seep through, right? Although boats don't. That That's been the dumbest I've ever sound. Boats do okay. They stick the phone in a water-filled tank and then increase the pressure until the phone has problems. The water in the tank is perfectly still, and the pressure simulates the depth below sea level. It's a bullshit test because the water you drop your phone into is probably splashing all about, and your phone is going to move in the water as it sinks. If you don't drop your phone into an ocean or a river, you might drop it into the kitchen full of detergent or some other situation that isn't perfectly still water, pressurized under test conditions. It's another marketing trick which technically legally correct for the fine print, but is bullshit for the day-to-day life. I don't know. It's got to be better than the shit that isn't waterproof, where you just fucking sneeze on it and it doesn't work. I know my watch, I kept wearing it while I was doing cardio, and all of a sudden it was fucked up, and it was just because it was on my wrist and just sweating every day. It got wet. I don't fucking know. I have no idea. It's probably all bullshit. I know when they do miles, you know, how much a car gets miles per gallon. They drive it like 1 mile an hour with no headwind for most of the fucking test. Cleo, what is going on with you, buddy? What is going on with you? Go lay down. Jesus Christ. Are you allergic to the rug every time you come down here? You start flipping out. All right. Let me do these last couple of reads and then I can finish with the questions here. Sorry for the whole fucking pause and then going on this week. All right. MVMT watches, everybody. Pronounced movement. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to say. All right. Movement Watches, everybody, was founded on the belief that style shouldn't break the bank. The watchmaker's goal is to change the way consumers think about fashion by offering high-quality, minimalist products at revolutionary prices. With over 500,000 watches sold to customers in 160-plus countries around the world, Movement Watches has solidified itself as the world's fastest-growing watch company. Podcast/radio evergreen copy. Why would you tell me that? What's the difference between this and what you'd say on television, I guess? The company started by two broke college kids that wanted to wear stylish watches, but they couldn't afford them. So they started their own company. That sentence never makes sense to me. They're two broke college kids. They can't afford a stylish watch, so they start a company. I can't afford a G5 jet. I think I'll start a jet company. How is this like how you started, built a following, launched into podcasts, YouTube, radio, etc.? I'm not supposed to be reading this shit. Oh, I'm supposed to be like, oh, these guys remind me of how I did it. Movement Watches start. I don't know where I am in this copy right now. This is a shit show. Movement Watches start at just $95 at a department store. You're looking at $400 to $500. Movement figured out that by selling online, they were able to cut out the middleman and retail markup, providing the best possible price. All right, we're making sense again. Over 500,000 watches sold in over 160 countries. Good for you. Get 15% off today with free shipping and free returns. Go by going to movementwatches.com/Burr. That's MVMTwatches.com/Burr. This watch has a really clean design. Seriously, you're going to love it. If you put it on, you're going to get compliments. Now's the time to step up your watch game without breaking the bank. Go to mvmtwatches.com/Burr. It's fucking hilarious, right? I want a purebred dog. I can't afford one. So I started pure breeding dogs. That's not even a good example. I wouldn't even know how you'd fucking do that. I wanted my own island, but I couldn't afford one. So I bought islands. I started a company that made islands. Bill, we get it. All right. Stamps.com, everybody, is the easiest and convenient way to get postage right from your desk. Buy and print official U.S. postage using your own computer and printer. With Stamps.com, there's no guesswork. They make it easy to get exact postage for any letter, any package, any class of mail the instant you need it. I use Stamps.com to send out all my posters whenever I'm selling them, like next weekend. Saturday through fucking Wednesday in Washington, D.C., I'll have a poster. The tune-up for my special. Sign up for Stamps.com and use my last name, Burr, for this special offer. 4-week trial plus $110 bonus offer, including postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. You click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in Burr, B-U-R-R. That's Stamps.com. Enter Burr. There's no reason to keep going to the post office, all right? Okay. Let's get back to the fucking questions here. Let's see. Where the hell was I? Okay. Water. Dear Billy, wet phone. All right. We did that one. Okay. It's all this thing said, P.S. Keep a little black book full of your phone numbers from now on so that you never lose another contact. I'm actually doing that with a couple of little red books. I couldn't find the black ones. All right. CEO. Hey there, Billy Boss. If you could become CEO of any company for a couple of months, which company would it be, and what would you try to change? Monsanto, and I'd stop poisoning the food. Old Anthony Monsanto, which is now owned by Burr. Burr doesn't care. Imagine you have a few months, so it's not like you get fired day one for joining Apple and changing the name to Orange for selfish purposes. Also, you pick Apple and can also pick any other company you talk less about as well. Ha ha, thanks for everything. I think I answered it. I think my dyslexia kicked in and none of those sentences made sense to anybody. Those last two ones. What did it say? Oh, who gives a shit? Yeah, that's what I would do. I don't know. It would be nice if the way corporations were run, at some point you made enough money and at some point you thought, well, hey, what would this be doing to the environment? Or what would this be? I actually heard that they're lobbying. They got all these lobbies going on right now to make marijuana illegal again at the state level because allegedly prescriptions medication has dropped drastically in states where marijuana use is legal. And so they want to make it illegal again, evidently. My question is, well, why don't the big pharmaceutical companies just start making weed? And phase out these other fucking pills. They're not working anyways. They don't work. All those fucking side effects. I mean, it's fucking nuts. This shit that you can take, literally, that's just for something like really basic. And if you get on it for a while, if you come off it too fast, there's the chance you might kill yourself. I mean, they never had stuff like that when I was a kid. Somebody was all over the place. They were called a spaz. The dude's a fucking spaz, man. He's all over the fucking place. You know what I mean? I know that's a bad word in Scotland. My apologies, but that doesn't mean shit to us. You guys say cunt every other word. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. That's one of those super depressing kind of questions, because when you really think about it, there's really no fucking reason for our behavior towards one another. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think it just comes down to there's just really, remember when you watch like Planet of the Apes? There was like the chimps, they were the fucking doctors. Then you had the orange ones, they were the old ones. And then you had the gorillas, and they were like the fucking maniacs or whatever. Which was sort of oddly racist. They were the darkest of all the apes, you know what I mean? They were the worst, and I guess the chimps were subtly supposed to, I guess the orange ones were supposed to be gingers, and we were supposed to be the best of people. I don't know. You can always read into all of this shit, but like, I don't know. I think people are kind of like that. You know what I mean? You got fucking nice kind of, hey man, whatever you fucking happy man, and then you just got fucking complete psychos who will literally stab a baby in the head to get another inch forward. And I think those people really succeed in life. Like when you just don't give a shit about, and I'm not saying I'm a fucking perfect person because I've done some horrific shit, but I'm just saying, that's just the pain that I've caused on an individual level. Forget about if you're doing it at the fucking corporate level. I don't know. I just love those people who go, well, if I didn't do it, someone else would be doing it. That's usually a nice red flag that you're doing something fucked up. But I really think that we are, this is depressing. You might want to shut it off now. I think we are, there's a flaw in our design, and the way we are wired, it's inevitable that we're going to destroy ourselves. It's just, and I really don't think that it's even necessarily a human thing. It would be like whatever the next thing on the food chain was. If we weren't here, it would be taking too much, and in its own fucking way would be fucking up the balance of nature and all that type of shit. But I don't know if I 100% believe that, but I just look at it that way because then I can deal with some of the shit that I see. I do have to say, though, this presidential election and these two choices is one of the most depressing fucking things I've been around in a long fucking time. I just can't fucking believe it's a reality TV show star or the fucking devil. Ooh. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right, Halloween costume. Let's get off that topic. Hey, Bill, when was the last time you dressed up for Halloween? 2 years ago. I dressed up as John Bonham. If you had to go to one of these celebrity dress-up parties, like where Heidi Klum goes all out every year and shows up looking like an extra from the Tom Cruise movie Legend, what would you dress up as? When millions of women look at a U.S. Weekly at the hair salon, who will they see Billy Redface dressed up as when they get to the celebrities wear stupid costumes just like us section? Well, first of all, those are all the beautiful people, so I'm out. I'm not in that section, so I don't think they would. But let's just say all the beautiful people got hit by a truck, and it got all the way down to I was in that thing. Let's see. I would probably, John Bonham, I've done that one enough. Who would I dress up as? Somebody like that's known but sort of obscure. Because you don't want to be the 12th douche to show up, dressed as like Donald Trump is going to be like everybody's doing that, or Hillary. You don't want to dress up as Steve Jobs. I still think he's fucking known well enough. You gotta dress up like, let's see here. Who'd be a good one? Who's a good fucking, they were the you know what I mean? Like if you were going to dress up like somebody in, you know what? You got me. This is something, you just can't fucking pull this gem out. Like, you know what? Dressing up like the professor instead of Gilligan. It's basically that formula, but not that example. You know what I mean? Like, who the fuck lost the last presidential race? Obama ran against who? Was it McCain? I don't know, but Tina Fey did the chick, she did that one to death. I don't know. Some Bill Belichick might be a good one. For as well known as he is, if I was out here in L.A. and I just dressed like him, I think people would love it. A hoodie with the fucking cut-off sleeves. You just have it up, Maybe him. You know what? I would go Vince Lombardi. Maybe an old football coach. Go out as Tom Landry. But I got to pick somebody with a fucking blockhead like mine. Something like that. Something along those lines. Rather than like the hacky ones. You don't want to go out as fucking Chewbacca. Anything from Star Wars. Any superhero. I mean, that's just fucking lame. Trump, Hillary, that's fucking lame. Obama, if you're me, you're going to get in trouble for being in blackface. So you got to leave them alone. Oh, shit. That's a good question. I'd go out as like Phil Rudd, drummer for AC/DC. And people say, who are you? I'd say Phil Rudd. And people said, who's that? And I'd be like, you got to be ashamed of yourself. And you just walk away. So you get to like have a cool costume and scold people. There's a way to go. Pick somebody who people you feel should know, but they don't know. I'll dress as Clive Burr. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore. All right, that's the podcast for this week, everybody. All right, now we're on to the questions. We're on to the questions. Why you guys ask me for advice? I know why, because you just want to hear me read out loud. I know it is. I know you don't take it seriously. And anybody takes this seriously, you're on your own. This is a disclaimer. All right? Why would you take advice from me? I went to summer school 2 out of 4 years in high school. Should have gone all 4. My sophomore teacher hooked me up, gave me the D-, and senior year, it was like, what's the point? Evidently, I have to learn a trade. All right, comic book stuff. Dear Billy Unbreakable, we all know how you hate Comic Con stuff. I don't. It's just, they're an easy target, and I'm lazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Although I recently watched some reality, I was on a plane, right? I was on the plane. And there was some show, and there was just these guys standing around in, what the fuck? It's a comic book store out here, and I started to watch it, and they were all doing that fucking, if this comic book guy fought that comic book guy. And I can't sit through that, but I can sit through, dude, who is better, Gretzky or Lemieux? I'm telling you, if Lemieux didn't have those years off, I'll fucking stay in that forever. But, you know, I can't get into comic book shit as much as, you know, I liked the superheroes when I was growing up. But then, you know, I got older and I grew up. All right. Superhero movies and Loot Crate. I don't hate that shit. I just like making fun of it. He said, you've mentioned in the past the only superhero you liked was Luke Cage, a.k.a. Power Man. No, I like Spider-Man too. Captain America, Iron Man. Batman was cool. More the comic book. On TV was, you know, I liked that show when I was younger, but then it was just sort of silly, too campy for me. I liked the Heath Ledger Batman. And I loved that Christian Bale, you know, even if everybody made fun of his voice, it fucking made sense that he would change the sound of his fucking voice. You know? You guys know what my voice sounded like. If I had a 3/4 fucking mask on and I just started talking to you, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck's with the mask, Bill? You know? Anyways. Well, you should be excited to know he has his own Netflix series now. Get the fuck out of here. Luke Cage does? It's super popular and getting attention. Not just because it's great, but also because it's topical. It knowingly acknowledges the significance of a bulletproof African-American wearing a hoodie. Through the series, Luke engages with police officers who shoot him and leave holes in his hoodies. The police often interrogate and harass black people in Harlem who have done nothing wrong. Oh, I got to watch that. He goes, my questions are, do you still like Luke Cage? Will you watch the series? Yes. Do you think it's good to acknowledge Trayvon Martin and the Black Lives Matter movement in this way? Yeah, why not? When you watch those Pixar movies, they talk about global warming. You know, they had the ant thing and they go, you know, one ant's not tough, but you got to, if all the ants start moving, they could take us over. That was all about like the fucking Bilderberg people. If they can do all of that shit, why can't they bring up that stuff? I love it. Is that a good way to acknowledge this? First of all, who the fuck am I to say that? That's not an issue that has made my life like, I don't have to worry about my life. You know what I mean? So I would ask, why don't you ask black people that? Do you think it's good to acknowledge? Anyways, love your podcast and your stand-up. Greetings from Ontario. Yeah, I'm just like, I like when, as much as I like Superman versus Batman, all right? I like when they do the comic book stuff, and as much as, like, you know, the people can fly and they're fucking the size of an ant and shit like that, the more reality that they bring into it, the more grounded that they keep it, the more I like it. And I know Superman versus fucking Batman, they're like, Jesus, how many people did they fucking kill? That never entered my mind. I didn't give a shit. They're like, they did billions of dollars worth of damage. Who gives a fuck? My favorite thing was they were saying that superhero can't be out there acting unilaterally. Like they didn't like that Superman was going around just helping everybody, regardless of whether they would trade with the United States or not. And I just love that the United States felt that they could claim Superman. It was fucked up. I guess he got adopted by United States parents and he did get a free education. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? You know what? I stand by the American government on that one. No, but the more that they can bring in like the just the real world reality, I think that shit's great. And the dark, I mean, in the comic books, isn't it always like dark, depressing? They're fucking loners. Like, I never liked the X-Man thing. It just sounded like a bunch of whiny teenagers to me. They didn't go dark enough or make it adult enough. It was probably for teenage kids. Who's kidding who? It probably wasn't for a fucking bald 48-year-old male. We got to get these guys. This is our demographic. These are the guys that are going to buy all the fucking swag. I actually, when I was a kid, I read comic books, and I really liked the drawings and the different ways that they would go about it. And when sometimes they take up a whole page and they draw something, or they'd have like 3 of the squares would all, like, a bullet got shot, and they just show where it went and stuff. Like, I really liked it, and I thought it was incredibly talented in that thing. But I stopped short of like dressing up like them and having like a fucking lightsaber fight. You know what I mean? I guess that's where you lose me. And to be honest with you, what I'm doing is what a lot of people do is I'm taking like, most golf fans are not like those fucking animals at the Ryder Cup screaming and yelling like a bunch of fucking lunatics. You know what I mean? A lot of them are, I went to the Masters. The people were fucking cool, but it's just fun to make fun of them, I guess. Jesus, Bill, did you retract everything that you've ever said about it? Sort of. I'm trying to be a better fucking person, man. I gotta stop. Like, that the word cunt and all this stuff that just flies out of me in public, and it's getting worse. And it's gotten to the point where now it actually, for the first time in my life, like embarrasses me. So I'm trying to see the other side of that. And I know people are like, well, then you're not going to be funny anymore. Believe me, I will fuck up plenty in my life. I don't need to be screaming cunt when there's children around in a fucking airport. All right, Montreal Pitbull ban. Hi, Bill. I think your special Let It Go did a lot to educate people about what sweet and loving pets pit bulls can be. I don't have a pit bull myself, but I do not believe in breed-specific legislation or banning certain breeds of dog just because they're more likely to be owned by assholes who will train them to be violent. I live in Ontario where pit bulls are already banned. When Mark Buehrle, Buehrle, how the fuck do you say that? Buehrle, was in the Toronto Blue Jays. You mean on the Toronto Blue Jays? He chose to live alone in Toronto away from his family rather than give up their pit bull. Recently, Montreal Council voted in favor of a bill to ban new pit bulls and other dangerous breeds, as well as impose strict regulations on pit bulls already living in the city, including muzzling. Oh, putting a muzzle on them. From what I read, the bill seems to be a panic reaction to the death of a woman who died following a dog attack. Here is the article if you want to read it. I would love for you to speak out against this super lame bylaw and continue to use your fame as a platform to educate people about. Dude, I don't do that. I'm not going to be that person. Hey, I have a podcast. Now you should listen to me about social issues. Perceived as dangerous. Your bit about adopting Cleo is seriously one of my favorite things in life. Oh, thank you. I wish everyone could hear it. Thank you so much. Bill, go fuck yourself. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened up there, but like I don't think pit bulls are bad dogs. I will tell you, my dog's a fucking psycho and would try to kill you if you came into the house. Would attack you because it's possessive, it's envious, jealous, whatever the fuck it is. And my dog is dangerous, and and if I'm standing there, I can't be like, Cleo, these people are fucking cool. But I think what it is with my dog, with its personality and the information that I did not have access to, and I don't have like this dog, like really, like if this dog, when this dog's with my fucking trainer, like, and it stays with him, people come and go, complete strangers come into his house, and the dog doesn't flip out. But with me, it does. I let it up on the bed. I fucking snuggle with the thing and shit. It thinks it's on the same level as me. For whatever reason, it feels like it has to run shit. And I just, after a while, because I'm so fucking busy, I just had to like sort of adjust my life around the dog, which is not another thing you're not supposed to do. But, I can walk it down the street. It doesn't go after people. But if someone just walks up to me out of nowhere and starts talking to me, it starts barking. It doesn't growl or show its teeth, but it definitely considers it like a threat. So, but this is the thing. What I've noticed since having this dog is that there are a bunch of dogs that do that of all breeds when I walk down the street. And what I see rather than the dog is I see the owner. And I am not... I made a lot of mistakes with my dog. And whenever my dog passes and I go to get another one, I don't know if I can do it, dude. I don't know if I can not have the dog be up on the fucking bed. I have to be disciplined enough to do it. I actually, when I was in Vancouver one time or Seattle or something, this woman told me, like, she doesn't let her dogs walk on the rug. I come home, she goes, I don't even look at them until I set everything down. They're waiting for her and waiting for her. My dog just gets to do whatever the fuck it wants. And I think that can be, a dangerous thing the bigger your dog is. So I what I would actually say is rather than have a pit bull ban, what I would say is if you're going to get a dangerous breed, and a pit bull is a dangerous breed, and all that means, I'm not saying the dog is inherently dangerous. I'm just saying that if your dog goes to bite somebody, like anybody's dog can, the level of damage that a pit bull can do versus if you get bit by a chihuahua, you have to understand, you have to respect what you have. So what I would say, rather than have a pit bull ban, I would say, what if people, before you're able to have a pit bull, you have to take an intensive course and become a fully educated, great dog owner, which is what I wish was available to me before I got my dog, because I had to learn all these lessons the hard way, and, trying to undo all of this shit that the dog learned as I'm leaving every other weekend and I'm in a writer's room all day. It was, like owning a dog is a tremendous amount of responsibility. So that alone, forget about all the fucking horrible people, human beings that are out there that do horrible fucking things to animals. I'm hypocritical because I eat chickens and cows and pigs and shit. And, they don't exactly treat them, they always say, oh, it's free range, it's organic and all that shit. And then you watch the documentary and they're cutting their beaks off and feeding them cows and shit, and it's fucking horrific. But these people who fight dogs, and these people who I honestly think there was some case in New York where this guy he was in an argument with his girlfriend. He snatched the girl's dog out and fucking spiked it on the ground and killed it. And the woman's daughter was in the other room. And this motherfucker only got 60 days. It's just I just kind of feel like somebody big enough should have grabbed him and spiked him down on a kitchen floor, and then he'd have to fucking deal with the ramifications of that, rather than my tax dollars paying for $60 worth of free fucking meals for this guy to be in some fucking halfway house. The level of fucking anger issue that guy has, that is I don't know, but that's really a shame, and that's what they're doing up there, is they're trying to protect people, and they're not going to throw any money at it. So they're just going to say, all right, no more of these dogs, no more of these dogs. That's what they're doing. So, but I got to be honest with you, getting mauled to death by a fucking pit bull. Do you want to go out like that? That's pretty fucking horrific. And then also horrific is them then killing every other pit bull out there. So that would be my suggestion, is that, and if you are considering getting any dog, I'm sure that there's things that you could go out, that's the number one fucking thing that I wish I did, because I absolutely fucking love animals. I love dogs. I fucking love them. And everything that I do, is probably wrong, because the dog feels like it's on the same level as me and it has to run shit. And that's why people come through the door and it flips the fuck out. And I have to put I just know how the dog is. What I did, I just adjusted to it. I'm just like, all right, I know I'm having people over, so I just take the dog downstairs and I just keep it in the room downstairs. Nobody even sees the fucking thing. That's the way I had to operate with my dog. And, I can tell you that that's one way to do it, but it's not the way to do it, because there's that constant anxiety of thinking, oh, what if it ever got out? What the fuck happened? Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I have to live with the guilt of someone else getting hurt, and then I'd get the shit suit out of me. It's a really serious fucking thing when you get a German Shepherd, if you get a Pit Bull, if you get a Doberman Pinscher, if you get a fucking Golden Retriever. Those dogs can fucking do damage. And the fact that you can just go, oh my God, it's cute, and just take the fucking thing home. Forget about if you found it by the LA River and you have no idea what the other people did to it. I know my dog got abused. I picked up my hockey stick when I first got it, and I was stick handling in the living room, as you do, right? And the dog immediately ran to the other side of the room, and I was like, oh my God, somebody was hitting this thing with some sort of a stick. So what I did was I just laid the hockey stick down in the middle of the room. I went to all the way on the opposite side of the room, and I'd call the dog over, and the dog would come over and go all the way around the stick and then come over, lick me on my face. And I go, all right, go back to your bed. And it would go back to its bed. And each time it sniffed the stick a little bit more, a little bit more. And I just baby stepped it to the point where by the end of it, I could, stick handle in my garage, with the tennis ball and shit. And it didn't give a shit. But I wish I did that on other areas. But I never, once you see a dog going after somebody, you never quite trust it again. And then you have that fear. And then they sense the fear and they process that is the fear is the person at the door. And it's a fucking, I've learned so much by fucking up. So my next dog, I will not make those mistakes. But I don't think that it is a problem with the breed. I think it's the size of the dog and the mistakes that I fucking made, So anyways, moving on. All right, moving to the States. Hey, Billy Slutbag. I'm a 21-year-old guy from Sweden, and I'm thinking about moving to the U.S., but I can't decide where. I've narrowed it down to 3 cities, New York, San Francisco, and L.A. Great fucking choices. So my simple question is, where do you think a guy in my age will have the most fun? And by the way, will your new special be on Netflix? Yes, it will be. Can't wait to see it in season 2 of F is for Family. Hope you and Neil lives continue to be great. Well, thank you. Go fuck yourself. And FTT, I don't know what that means. Fuck something or other. All right. It depends on what you want to do. All right, you are going to get fucking laid in all 3 of those cities. Coming over there, Swedish guy, you can speak fucking another language. I mean, it's over. It's a fucking rap. You can have an accent. It's a rap. You're going to get laid. It all depends on what type of women you're in and what kind of weather you like. If you can deal with the winter, I would say go to New York City. New York City is the Paris of the United States. It's the best one we have. As far as like just culturally, it's just fucking amazing. San Francisco is fucking unbelievable too. Like the first of all, the food in all 3 of these are unbelievable. San Francisco is going to be the most expensive, believe it or not. All that computer money, I guess, has fucking ruined that city. Then New York and LA is actually starting to, get really expensive too. LA, brutal fucking traffic. There is a drought. And what would I do? 21. You know what, man? I think I would go with New York just because if you want to go back and visit, you're cutting out like 5 hours of the flight. When you were in New York, I would visit San Francisco and LA. But don't sleep on there's other bunch of great. Madison, Wisconsin's fucking great. Pittsburgh's the shit. Cleveland's coming around, every time I go there, it's getting fucking better and better. I love all those fucking Rust Belt cities. Chicago's the shit. Nashville. New Orleans. There's so many fucking places to go. But I think New York is a great place. It's a great place, And there's a lot of liberal New Yorkers there, and they just think anything from another country, especially any country from Europe, is just automatically better and more amazing. So, and you'll be a good person for them to fucking sit there shit on the United States. It's like, you guys put your shoes on this way and we do it that way. It was like my wife listens to NPR and they were sitting there talking about how in one of those fucking, countries over there where they have 1 million people on bicycles, no one really gets fucked over by someone opening the car door into them, when they parked. Because they have this thing called the fucking whatever. They open the door with their right hand, so that gets them to look over their shoulder. And they acted like it was this astounding fucking achievement. And why didn't we ever think of that? I'll tell you why we never thought of it. Because no one rides a fucking bike over here. 90% of people do not ride bicycles. Over there, everybody rides a fucking bike, just about. Most people can't even afford a fucking car. They have bike lanes. It's a part of how they grow up. That's the only reason why. It's like I never used to look for motorcycle riders until I rode a motorcycle. And then now I always, I creep over to the left, let them drive along, in between. I always make sure I'm looking for them, and I never did that before I rode. So anyways, I'm off on a tangent here. Okay, friend being taken advantage of at a fire station. The fuck does this mean? They're making him cook all the chili, or are we talking molested here? Dear Mr. Burr, a good friend of mine is trying to be a firefighter, and I feel like he's totally become their bitch. Instead of being hired full-time, his fire department has him hired as like a reserve or whatever, and has him working full-time hours, basically. That would be nice, but since he's a reserve, he's literally getting paid like below minimum wage. He's been doing this for around a year or so, and the department he's in definitely is understaffed. They just don't want to make him full-time because they would have to pay him an actual salary. Now, I don't know anything about jobs and careers and stuff, but I feel like he's definitely getting taken advantage of. What should I do? Should I tell him he's being fucked over? Would love to hear your opinion on the matter. Love the podcast. Can't wait for F's for Family. Go fuck yourself. And when are you coming to Northern California? All right. I would say, I would just say to him, hey, listen, I know that, I would just bring up work. How's it going at work? Blah, 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 blah. Do they have any plans of making you full-time anytime soon? Listen to what he says, and then just ask him. Well, how long? So what's the game plan? Have they hinted anything about it? And just see what he says. Sometimes it's hard. You got to let your friends learn hard lessons. Sometimes you just got to kind of let them get fucked over. I mean, just bring it up, see what the person says, and hopefully your friend isn't like that guy in the joke in Goodfellas. That just means he's content to be a jerk. What am I going to say? That my wife 2 times me? Yeah, that's what I would do. I would just bring it up. I've had friends in those situations, and, that can be very difficult. Yeah, so that's what I would do. That's a simple one. Just bring it up, ask them how's it going, and ask them if they have any plans. And then I would say, not trying to be nosy, I'm just looking out for you, because I want to see you succeed. What is your plan then? Because there are other firehouses out there where you could maybe get hired on. All right, Jim Irsay guitar collection. Oh, Jesus, my buddy Jim Irsay. Hey, Billy B. Bender. I was reading the Guitar Aficionado magazine this month, and there was an article about Warren Hayes playing Jerry Garcia's guitar, Tiger, at Red Rocks a few months back. This was the last guitar Jerry ever played live before his untimely death. Anyways, long story short, the article went on to disclose Jim Irsay was the actual owner of the guitar. Well, that's what happens with most of those instruments. They are owned by rich people who are not musicians. I'm not saying they're not lovers of music, but that's where it all ends up. And then actual musicians, they buy their own gear, and then they make that gear legendary. You know what I mean? I did that shit. I bought a 71 Ludwig Green Sparkle John Bonham fucking kit. So then what? Now I'm going to play like him? That was an expensive lesson to learn. But I know there's some other kid, going down to fucking Pro Drum Shop out here in LA, and he's going to buy a fucking kit that's a particular color and everything, and he's going to tune them up, or she's going to do it, and they're going to have a sound, and they're going to put it together, and then everybody's going to want that kit. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, he owns a team in the NFL. This guy's a fucking billionaire, right? He said he paid $850,000 for it at auction. And you know what's great about Jim Irsay money? Is if he's a fucking billionaire, all right. Even if you had $100 million, spending $850,000 is spending less than 1% of your fucking money. But if you're a billionaire, then what is the fucking decimal point moves over one more? Is that it? Is it 0.01%? Less than that? I don't know. He said he paid $850,000 for it at auction. Not to mention he also owns Bob Dylan's Stratocaster from the Newport Festival, George Harrison's Gibson SG. Jesus, what a fucking collection. And even Prince's Yellow Cloud guitar. Although I appreciate someone preserving musical history like he has, as a longtime guitarist and Patriots fan, I say fuck him for not allowing these guitars to be in the hands of musicians. What are your thoughts? I separate Jim Irsay, the football owner. When you start talking about his guitar collection, then he's just a regular person to me. You know what I mean? So he's just a rich guy, that he's a music lover, and I don't think they should necessarily be in the hands of musicians because I think that you should be influenced by great artists not go out and try to do what they already did. I think the fact that you as a musician will go out, like if I was a musician, my goal would be like, I would want my guitar to be famous too. Like how Stevie Ray Vaughan's, or John Bonham's Vista Light kit became famous. Like none of those things were famous. No one knew what they looked like until they got into the hands of those unbelievable artists. So, I think that the fact that they go for all that money and they end up in rich people's hands is just a testament to the greatness of the musician and how music affects people. Even a guy who's a fucking NFL owner, the fact that he's into the Dead, he's into George Harrison, he's into Prince, he's into Bob Dylan. I mean, you can't fuck with any of those influences. The guy's got good taste in music, But there's no magic in those guitars, though. I mean, I could literally have Bonham's kit, and I'm going to sound like a comedian playing drums, and you guys are all going to be like, "Hey, can you fucking knock it off?" You know what I mean? So I don't think that I think that they're just like pieces of history now. I think like if you have like fucking Napoleon's sword, I don't think that that should be in some other fucking dictator's hands, chopping somebody's fucking head off. I mean, I don't think so. I just think that if you're into that type of shit, which I totally am, I'm completely into memorabilia, but I refuse to buy any because so much of it is fake. And also, I just have enough shit in my fucking house. I don't need any more shit in my house. And I also, I don't want my fucking house to look like a fucking Hard Rock Cafe. You know what I mean? Where I got fucking Jim Morrison's fucking MeUndies on the wall. Framed, and they're probably some guy. It's probably has a better chance of being Jim Irsay's fucking MeUndies than Jim Morrison. So, I don't begrudge him, and I think that's fucking awesome that he has it because, I guess then that's why musicians should maybe I don't know. There is something cool to touch the thing, like if you could ever like just hold that Jimmy Page double-necked SG that he played Stairway to Heaven on. If you could just fucking hold that thing and just feel like I think you just start whispering when you had it, like, oh my God, he looked at John Bonham and would give him the nod when he was coming out of the solo, Okay, that was probably creepy listening to me fucking whisper. I would be like that around that shit. But, hey, man, if you got the fucking money, they can have it. So there you go, man. Go make your guitar fucking legendary and then see how much Jim Irsay will pay for yours. But then again, you'd have to be dead. Well, Bob Dylan's not dead when you give it up for auction. My dog right now is sitting just to the left of my computer. She's staring intensely at me. She's been fed, she's been out, and everything like that. And all that says is she wants to be let up on the couch. And you know what? I can't do it. I'm going to turn it around. I'm too weak. I can't resist. You're too fucking adorable. Why is your head shaped like a fucking muscular light bulb? You ever notice that, you little bear face? Huh? Why can't you be like this with company? Why can't you see that I'm relaxed around them and then you're relaxed? Why do you treat everybody like they're a fucking axe murderer? Huh? All right, that's the podcast. Go fuck yourselves. And I got to say again, congratulations to Bills and that they're turning that fucking thing around there. I always like the Bills back. I don't like their fucking fans because I had a bad experience when I went out there and I wore a Patriots hat. And three fucking people when I was taking a piss pushed me. Fucking pussies. But anyways, I also had a fucking Patriots hat on in their stadium, and I had my dick out. What the fuck was I thinking? Give me Jesus Christ. Why don't I just slit my own throat? But I liked them from back, Joe Ferguson, O.J. Simpson, and all those days, and it was always snowing. And I always liked the Buffalo Bills from back then. So that's what happens. If you start to like a team when you're a kid, even when they become your rival, you don't give a fuck. So, psych, Tom Brady's coming back, and I'm just going to say a bunch of shit that I already said. All right, go fuck yourselves, and I'll check in on you on Thursday.